I mean, coming into this matchup, there's a lot of talk on the desk. You know, Pipz sitting on the end there for Divine Minds. If you look at the other side of the coin, Direwolves have Zerkil sitting on the end. I mean, those are probably two of the most vocal players you'll ever get in the LAN environment. So I'm expecting some yelling, I'm expecting some noise, and yeah, I think they hit the nail on the head. I'm expecting a lot of body shots.
Yeah, if you're looking for a bit of trash talk, especially because there are so many NZ folks in this game, it's definitely going to be coming in this one here. You know, we talk about sort of like how you mentioned the star-studded players that we have on both teams, but I just want to say that Direwolves as a whole are really the strongest as they've been in a very, very long time. You know, with that fill in Jordan, they're looking very, very strong. And
then, of course, going into the first matchup, of course, Bazaar, it was an interesting one between Chiefs and Mindfreak. It was very accelerated through the mid portion of the map. Once Chiefs actually got themselves a foothold, they just ramped it through, and Mindfreak sort of just trying to scramble to try and contest. Going into this matchup, I would expect something similar. I mean, Divine Mind have been the favourite the entirety of this split. They filled that gap that the Chiefs post-Barco sort of left. But Direwolves, they're a scrappy roster. They are ones that could do damage. So I'm expecting, like they said on LAN, Momo was talking all about it, the LAN diff here for the Direwolves coming into this matchup. And it looks like we're already into it, rocking and ready to go. The Rocket's in play. Flag already contested before we get to it.
You know, flag already being in play. It's exactly what we would expected from Divine Mind, as they, of course, a very, very aggressive team. It's actually in the hands of Direwolves right now as they rotated through palm trees quite quickly and securing kill after kill. We did see for a brief moment there Direwolves were, in fact, 3 down. It's going to take a lot of outslaying to make sure they can get this flag past the halfway point. So much pressure coming in from the members of Divine Mind, and it looks like they are not going to let up.
I mean, talked about 8 slaying. We got to the map, there was 8 kills already for the Direwolves. That's not the team that I would expect to come out of the gate swinging, but they're doing just that. Plasma, though, does get the kill on Zerkil. They find some way to shut down this roster. Divine Mind, they've recouped their losses and they're back ready to go.
We've had a ton of pre-game talk, especially from Momentum, you know, mentioning that he was teaming with Balls. You know, he's had a lot of experience with the Direwolves members in the past, and exactly what you just said before, Pen, you wouldn't expect Direwolves from the break of any map, especially a CTF Bazaar, to come out of it so strong.
And I mean, we've talked about Chiefs post-Barco. This is Direwolves post-Dino. And look, Dino, he's not had a great day so far. Direwolves looking to try and prove that it's not Dino that brought them together. They are still a capable roster in their own right. Flag has been pulled out. Pipz, the man, to provide that overwatch in Palm Tree, wants to make sure his team can carry that cap on through.
Right now, Divine Mind just playing it safe with this flag pull as Pipz once again reaches for it, grabs it, manages to take it on balcony. The drop down comes just as that timing for OS as well, but he doesn't quite get the pop on it. 4 members for Divine Mind go down all over OS.
So those predictions are looking a bit shoddy at the moment.
Let's cut the VOD. We're not talking about that.
Look, I personally back Divine Mind. They got slammed. Maybe it's that caster curse coming into it. But right now, Direwolves are having an absolute heater here. Look, finally Zerkil's on the board. He's got his 1 kill. He takes Pipz down, leaving Rated the only player without a kill.
In that particular instance, I feel like Divine Mind was just looking to have their cake and eat it too, both juggling the flag, trying to get OS. It just proved to be too much for them. They went 4 down, got a little bit of space, but Direwolves, you know, trying to come back swinging. They go down 3 in this moment, and now they're the ones pushed back into their base. So it's very back and forth between these teams.
I mean, competitively, Divine Mind, one of the best slaying teams in ANZ at the moment. But that can also be their downfall as we see the Rockets coming into play. Swayz doesn't need any defensive gadgetry. He's got his battle rifle. That's good enough for him. And like I was saying, Slays, they're great at it, but it can be their undoing because they just get too invested in killing.
Yeah, focusing on the macro of the game, especially CTF Bazaar, is so important. You know, you need to keep your eyes on the prize. The prize being that flag that entire time, of course. So yes, you can be an incredible team slaying, but we've seen other teams fumble this before. They get too focused on the slaying game. They're not paying attention to those spawn drills all too often. They get counter-slayed, and then all the ground that they've taken through those kills is just lost.
Swayz making a run for the Direwolves flag, gets it off the podium, down to where Pipz got it last time. It was their reset, of course, but he's going one further. He's getting it out towards Market, in a lot of trouble as Bald unit shuts him down. Direwolves' resistance is ferocious.
Direwolves, of course, one of the players that we've pointed to a lot being a star slayer for DW here is Vampt, and look at him right now. 9 kills, 5 assists, only 4 deaths as well. He's got the OS. You can see him cross-mapping there, trying to escape with his life. And a little bit of overshield in the back pocket as well. Unfortunately, he does go down, and 2 of his team members do as well. This could be the opportunity Divine Mind has needed.
Pipz with the 1-2 combo, Bulldog into the back smack. Another player off the board for Direwolves. He's hunting for Jordan, former teammate at that Armageddon land, and shuts him down too. And it seems like Divine Mind have gained some control back here.
This is exactly the kind of push, the kind of momentum that they need. They just need to get a couple of kills right now in Direwolves' base, make sure that they can secure that flag, or at least get a little bit of positioning. Just as we're saying that, 2 members go down as well. Zerkil taking shots, just playing for his life with Jordan in hand. They do go down, so now it appears that, yes, Divine Mind do have that footing that we were talking about before.
I mean, that was dangerously close to a kill-tacular. At least it was a killing spree. Swayz just found 5 unanswered, and they're going to start the run because of it. He takes it in hand, decides he wants to do it himself, in trouble. Gets it through the double doors before he falls. This is not a great spot for the Direwolves.
This is a fantastic run. Honestly, I don't know how Swayz managed to stay alive for as long as he did, just running that flag. He was one shot for God knows how many seconds there, but it feels like this is the run to indeed put them up 1 flag in this particular map. Well done for Divine Mind.
They take the lead. I mean, honestly, in a map like Bazaar, that's all you really need. We've seen so many maps just end 1-0
now we're going to watch a Slayer game, ladies and gentlemen.
But I mean, it's Swayz. He continuously does this. You see, you know, on the likes of Streets, Oddball, on the rip, straight in for the objective, straight in for the rockets. He does this little head tuck. He runs through, makes sure he's looking at his feet, and he avoids the headshot. And it's just, I mean, he's proved time and time again why he is among the best in the region.
I love what Plasma's been doing right now, just using the commando, and he's not going for those kills. He's not going for a 7-shot perfect. He's just looking for tickle damage. He's just looking to be annoying. Look what he's doing to Balls right now. Balls has no other option to run back into Trench.
I mean, you look at this roster for Divine Mind. Swayz, he's a Rottweiler, he's hungry, he's looking for kills. Plasma, he's like a Jack Russell Terrier. He's looking for those little bits of chip damage to set up his teammate. He's notorious for the remote detonation as well.
Swayz is going to pick up 3 here. Another double kill nearly on the board. Does unfortunately get taken down by Jordan. Rockets in the hands of Pipz as he is lurking around Direwolves bar. He's going to pick up 1 rocket kill here. Still has 1 in the bank, and he's going to go for it, keeping his life in tow. No shields right now. He's going to catch these thruster spawns. With the help of Plasma, 3 members of Divine Mind now in the Direwolves base, making a run through Palms.
I mean, we saw in that first match of the day, it was scrappy to start. You know, Mind Freak and Chiefs both got a flag on the board, and it sort of devolved. No, Divine Mind out-coordinating, out-maneuvering, out-fragging this Direwolves roster despite the effort. Swayz is 18 kills deep, and we've just got under 5 minutes to go.
Look at the score lines between both of those teams as well. The Slayer game very much in favour of Divine Mind right now. Direwolves falling a little bit behind. They do get the recap as their flag was positioned down near Market. Looking to back up Pipz here, who was 1-shot. Plasma going 1-shot himself as he tries to take on 2. Does get felled. 2 for 2 on both sides. And I don't know, Panda, looking at this right now, do we kind of see that momentum shift where you do in fact just see these CTF Bazaar games in particular just turn into Slayer matches for the next 5 minutes?
I mean, especially on Bazaar, it's so hard to connect the flag once the cap goes down, unless you're the Chiefs, unless you're playing Mind Freak, unless it's absolute chaos. But right now, I mean, it's just exactly that. They've got their flag cap. That's all they need. They can rely on their Slay game, which is one of the best in this region. For a reason, we hype it up. I mean, you look at Swayz alone, 20 bomb already.
20 bomb for Swayz. Looking to do a little dance here as he's fighting for his life for OS, and he does get back up. Does get picked from, I believe that was Bar or Catwalk. Yes, I think it was, as Jordan makes his run for it as well. Looking with this fight right now, Jordan does manage to secure that OS, but he's taking so much damage from the shock grenades as well. Shots ring out across the map as we see another entrance from the members of Direwolves.
Looking for their turn halfway through that first layer of the overshield. Finds the finisher onto Swayz. Looking for more former teammates of that Armageddon land being shredded by the BR. Out on the flag platform, he's forced back for now. Bald's there to support. They're looking to clear this base out. Pipz goes down. A double kill for Jordan. Vampt on the objective.
Good stuff from the boys of Direwolves. That OS. quickly. 10 to 15 seconds, I believe, as Plasma goes down as well. Jordan just being an absolute menace right now outside of Bar, as he's assisting his teammates in pulling that flag as well. Such a good run.
I mean, that was seconds away from the reset. He does go down, but he's got it through the double doors. That's key for the Direwolves if they want to keep themselves in this matchup, of course, going into the final 3. But it looks like the afterburners might have been hit here. Divine Minds rapidly taking down Direwolves. The nade, the double up combo from the bald unit himself. He throws it back, but it's only about a meter as he does die to the nade spam as well. Look at it, the drop down. Swayz here!
No!
He's trying to deny. They want this reset. They don't want this tied up.
Vampt successfully winning that 1v1 there might have been crucial for them as 3 members of Direwolves come up, meaning that this flag is fully supported. We are going 1-1 in this CTF Bazaar. Outstanding from the boys of Direwolves. Very well executed.
I mean, this is looking more and more like it's an OT matchup. Vampt for the first, looking for Pipz. Can he find him to rotate down? The double kill. He's still got plenty of shields, but unfortunately he meets his end at the hands of Swayz. Rated, picking up that over shield. He's surrounded. Does he? No, I don't think he got it down.
This is a crucial moment right now for the members of Direwolves. As they do secure that OS, Zerkil nearly going down to the electricity there from the Dynamo Grenades. As a bit of a spawn kill, could potentially come out unrated here. He does manage to get out of his life with that thruster in tow. Spawns for members of Divine Mind coming out on their flag bridges. Ball just decides to fall back to his teammate. 2 members of Direwolves go down right now. This is a very risky flag play.
We hit the 90-second mark here, now remaining Bluey, and this is about as close as you could possibly get in a matchup of this caliber on land as well. Swayz drops Vampt, 2 players down for Direwolves, mean they're at the disadvantage. Pipz on the objective though, he's trying to hold off his own flag platform. The aggression coming through! The scattergunner as well to come in.
Sorry, as soon as one goes down, they have more backup, and Rated does secure that kill, immediately being felled by Zerkil. There's so many pushes that can be made right now, but with all these members going down one after another, there's so little time ticking down.
Zerkil, he needs this kill onto Pipz to open up the flag run, but no, he can't connect the shots, and all of a sudden, everything's delayed. Pipz goes down, they find themselves a follow-up kill. 50% of the players off the board, rather, for Divine Mind, and out in market with 30 seconds remaining. We're getting dangerously close to overtime.
30 seconds in tow. Flag needs to be secured. A grenade rings out to Pipz. It's not enough damage to be taken out. Jordan trying to ring out as many shots as he can, but we're seeing so many members of Direwolves go down, and that is 4. That should mark, with this Divine Mind push, a successful return and the possibility of going into overtime, unless this is won right now from Swayz, as the members of Divine Mind manage to grab the flag. We have a 3-man run as Balls is spotted, spawning in their Mangler, running it out right now on their catwalk. OS and Rockets both up. This is a determining factor. Swayz in the backline, ringing out damage on Jordan, looking to try and secure those nades. A killing spree and a double kill as well. Does get felled, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, the time ticks down. We are going into OT.
Direwolves, they breathe. They breathe. That's exactly what they wanted.
I need to breathe as well, honestly.
Divine Mind. Look, I think they kind of wanted that. You can see they just throw out the flag into the open, just baiting out a couple of kills, looking for the stats at the end of the day. And now we go into overtime. Golden point here on Bazaar CTF, and already it's just chaos. It's just led the Rockets in the hands of Swayz. 2 in the tube. What can he find with it? He's got the grapple as well. He's on the hunt. Bald! He's got the overshitter from Zerkil, but Jordan shuts down 2.
Jordan using that OS just to keep himself alive. 3 members of Direwolves there collapsing onto Pipz as 3 members of DM go down. Briefly a 4-man down as 2 of them just came up from spawns. We do see a back flag spawn for Diamond and a rotation into bar from Direwolves.
Swayz, he's got the 30 bomb. Jordan's a 1 away from. So you look at the investment so far. Vampt, he gets traded out as Pipz falls. They're looking to try and get in, control the objective, but Divine Mind find a flurry. Jordan gets raided, but it's just no one getting away with that kill scot-free.
Back and forth, just beat down for beat down, kill for kill. That's what you love to see in these situations. It just sort of shows, obviously we are in overtime now, but how closely knit, and I would almost say, Panda, surprisingly both of these teams are, especially on a CTF Bazaar.
I mean, look, coming into it, Direwolves was 4th seed. Everyone just sort of wrote them off, and now they're coming in going toe-to-toe with what is arguably the best team in the region, looking to make that push on through. Direwolves find some big openings. Pipz the last alive. This could be their opportunity.
Jordan absolutely slaying out of his mind right now. 32 and 21, only 7 assist to his name. You can't say he's playing a bit scrappy, or is he just winning all of his 1v1s?
Yeah, I mean, look, understandable. I mean, Balls at the moment having a lot of those assists. That's his role for this team. He sets up his teammates for those kills, for the objective plays. Things coming through. He's feeding the info. Vampt traded out with Plasma as well. This is the scrappiest CTF match point I've seen.
I know, there's so much just frantic action going on back and forth. It seems like every time a player secures a kill, they get taken out themselves, which means there's no space to be made. It's so scrappy, so destructive time after time. Even then, just the BR falling at Commando door. We do see Swayz right now with the grapple hook, making for an overshield play. So there's a lot of space to be made. The first melee doesn't connect. He's going to get shredded. Unfortunately, that is not the kind of overshield play that you need to make in a situation like that.
They push him into the corner. They take his wallet and his phone. Right now, though, Direwolves have lost members, which means Divine Mind might just be able to make that play for the flag to close this out. It's off the podium. The run begins.
Pipz running the flag right now, has support from Raided as well as Jordan. You can see coming from behind, gets taken out, a 4-shot from Raided. Beautiful stuff from him. Vampt looking to try and defend, double kill, killing spree once again for Raided as he seems to be on a tear. The triple stolen from him. I'm sure there'll be some words of that after the game.
They've cut off the rotates. Look, 3 of them are spawning in from their own base. It's just a full send, and they run it home. Direwolves unfortunately learned the lesson. If you're going to swing for the Kings, you better make sure they stay down.
You know, Direwolves, although Divine Mind do take that away from them, the aggression that Direwolves was displaying there, how quickly they were just on the members of Divine Mind over and over again, making sure that they traded blow for blow. Very impressive stuff. And again, I think that especially Momo right now would be watching that game and going, this is not the Direwolves that I'm used to seeing.
No, he would have gone and said, I would have won that.
Yeah, I would have won that. I would have won that Piv. That 4-shot would have been mine.
But I mean, look, you're coming into it. We're going on to the map. The map where it all happened at Armageddon. Slayer on Catalyst. It came down to 49-49. Swayz was the one to pull the trigger. He gets traded out, but he gets the kill first. He wins the map. Right now, Direwolves, I would say, are slaying on the same level as Divine Mind.
You know, we have seen in the past as well, Direwolves come out on Slayer Catalyst maps and perform very, very well. It's almost as if they take advantage of sort of the unknown elements that play into Catalyst. Particularly, we've seen Balls just grab the skewer and go on rip and tear sort of scenario. So leading up to this, you know, do you think that they truly have it in them to take this Slayer map?
I mean, you just have to look at the numbers that Jordan put up. He was having an insane game, formerly playing for the Divine Mind roster in that LAN as well. He has been, I mean, we talked about, there's been a lot of discussion, you know, which team got the raw end of the deal? Was it Mindfreak receiving Dino or Direwolves receiving Jordan? Everyone said, you know, Direwolves, they got the raw end of that deal. They got Jordan, Dino leaves. But if Jordan's putting up numbers like this, given how that first match played out, I reckon they got a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, Jordan historically has been a very, very strong individual player in his own right, and there's potential here that maybe he just needed to join a roster that was really going to support his ability to sort of control the map, control the sandbox, everything within it in order to support his teammates as much as possible. I feel like, especially a player of his caliber, just bathes. He loves it when these games are as frantic and chaotic as the one that we just witnessed.
And I mean, if I remember correctly, he's qualified for the FFA in Orlando. I'm pretty sure he picked up that first spot. So, I mean, you've got a Slayer of that caliber going toe-to-toe with Swayz, who is arguably the FFA king. But Swayz didn't qualify for the FFA, did he?
No. Not, you know, and we saw that sort of slaying power go before. And maybe it's, again, we've spoken about this so much in our sort of pre-game ambles, but the LAN buff. How much does that play privy to how these players are performing right now? I think I've spoken a couple of times to Momentum about how he believes Direwolves are as a team when it comes to LAN, and that they're a different beast. They're complete monsters when it comes to this scenario, so it's nothing that they're not used to. All of these players on this roster are so comfortable, especially in LANs. These big stages, these lights, they revel in it. They love it.
Yeah, I mean, they just seem to be thriving off the adversity of it all. Everyone's written them off throughout this split. They then come in, they're they were, I mean, that close
Yes.
to taking the map out against Divine Mind there. So going into this matchup, yeah, look, there might be a bit of PTSD about that Armageddon land, but this is their chance to prove that they are not a write-off team. They are one that deserves to stand amongst the top 3 and go to Orlando.
I've said it again, Direwolves historically have performed actually very strongly on this map. They seem to just love the fact that it's so chaotic, it's so frantic. You can take these long angles where you can just really support each other with the team shots as much as possible. And just as I say that, a member of Divine Mind is the first one to fall.
Swayz dead. They pick up the overshield though, so at least they trade Swayz life for that key bit of utility. Unfortunately, Jordan, he's unleashed right now. He's looking for kills, traded out by Swayz once again. So it is a short-lived run of mayhem.
Short-lived run indeed. I think between these two teams, because of how evenly matched they were before, it is going to be a very slow, methodical game that we're probably in for, as we can see so many members of Divine Mind sort of falling back on each other. Pipz held on to that overshield for the longest time possible, I believe, making sure to not get it shredded off of him as much as he could. The members of Direwolves also all sticking together. You can see Jordan on an off angle right now, just gathering as much intel as possible, calling out to his teammates. But Direwolves, you can see where they're positioned on the map. They're not budging.
Yeah, there's so much rotational momentum developed here on a map like Catalyst, being able to rotate around the map, play around those key spawns, play around that key utility coming into play. But, I mean, look at it. How far are we into this map already? This is a 4-3 game.
Like I said before, Panda, I think we're in for a long one. Both of these teams choosing not to play as frantically as possible, choosing to stick together as much as they can. We do see a bit of a pinch play coming up as Rated should be able to clean this up, and yes, he does. Takes down Bald as well. Vampt on the back end of Pipz. Zerkil is the one to clean him up. Do see grenades flying out from across the map. Jordan picking up Rated there, and the skewer is in the hands of Jordan, you know. Love it or hate it, this gun could be a tide turner.
A skewer and a grappling hook, so he's got a lot of movement capability here. Spamming the nades, spots out one. He's going to go for it. He takes down Swayz with the skewer.
There we go. That's what we love to see. Put him on a pipe, Jordan. You've been putting on a show so far. Don't let the slowness of the skewer stop you now. I'm sure it's very heavy carrying that thing in your team as well, but unfortunately you do go down as he tries to grapple that OS, and that was not in his favor.
He also tried to shoot it with the skewer first, so like, I don't know if he's trying to pin it in place so it couldn't get away, but that is another overshield in the hands of Divine Mind. Plasma looking to put it to work. He spotted Jordan. He knows his resistance, though. They've burnt through a lot of it.
Half of it goes down already, more than half, in fact, as Vampt putting in so much damage right now. Has to reload his gun, in fact. Plasma, a little phase there is what actually happened. Honestly, mate, we're looking at it, we're a bit confused as well.
I just noticed, we saw the handoff. Swayz is a huge advocate of the plasma rifle and the plasma pistol. He has consistently talked about plasma rifle. Guys need to get onto this. It's such an OP weapon because you can just spray through someone's shield and murk them. So then we just saw the handoff. Plasma gave it to Swayz, knowing full well that he can put it to work.
Swayz has historically been a massive advocate of using the sandbox as much as possible, you know. As you said, using the plasma rifle there, the plasma pistol too, the needler, we've seen him sort of swing around a couple of times. So it's going to be really good to see if he can sort of take advantage of this, use it in these very situational sort of locations where you are stuck in these corridors of the map. We do see a bit of a collapse from Divine Mind come out here. They take out 3, I believe that was, at one point. Vampt goes down as well, and they're being pushed back quite hard right now.
Rated takes down 3 on his lonesome. The rest of the team was just sort of there helping chip along. Puts him up to the 7-5 scoreline. He sits on currently balled from below. Spots out Swayz and Pipz. It's going to be a kill double going the way of Divine Mind. Pipz on the hunt. He wants this. He wants this so desperately, but he's shut down, unfortunately. But for a moment there, Zerkil was the last alive.
Zerkil would be the last alive as he's just sort of positioned himself across the other side of the map as the rest of his teammates come to spawn up. We do see Divine Mind very eager on the push there. And we, again, this is super interesting. We've seen them split both times when Direwolves have sort of placed themselves in the back of the base. Pipz picking up himself a double kill, does go down by Balls in that moment. Zerkil running for his life, does get taken down by Swayz. The members of Direwolves, this passive sort of, we're going to spawn in the back of the base, we're going to sit there, try to bait out Divine Mind as much as possible, is not working in their favor. Vampt gets a back smack, a killjoy as well. Plasma picking up kill after kill against his name as well. Divine Mind just playing so fast, so aggressive. Direwolves need to find a counter as soon as they can.
I mean, this hasn't been the most accelerated game of Slayer. They're slowly trickling in, but we already see Divine Mind having crossed the halfway mark. They are 6 kills clear of Direwolves at the moment. Swayz, the 1-2 combo, takes down Zerkil. Luckily, Direwolves have Vampt in position. He can capitalize and take it down. Vampt coming up, looking for that sort of platform play, but no, it's only going to be the trade.
Trade comes out. 2 members of Divine Mind go down in that exchange. Bald and Friends making a little rotation here over Ivy's side, looking to pick up... unfortunately, though, they won't be looking to pick up that energy sword. As we do see members of the Direwolves crew try to collapse in as much as possible, but it just doesn't seem... Every time they go for these plays where they just try to get a little bit of footing in, try to break the hold that Divine Mind have, they're just never successful.
Swayz is such an enigma. He's an incredibly skilled mechanical player. But there's no hesitation. As soon as he decides he wants to do something, he is going to commit to it 100%. Win or lose, he is going in. And the fact that he makes it work as often as he does is terrifying if you're an opponent.
A player like Swayz is just, how did Momo put it before? He's a hold-forward player. It's very scary when you get one of those players in their element and you have the rest of the team sort of supporting them as much as possible. They become very hard to shut down because if you're taking them out themselves, then you still have, 2, 3 other members of their team to deal with.
I mean, the guy is a one-man full-court press. It's like Pipz said in the interview, if he's going to send it, he's going. We don't know where he is, but he's finding
And
kills.
they're always backing him up as well. We do see Jordan drop down the bridge right now, grabs at OS. This could be sort of tide-turning right now for Direwolves as they are catching up to that scoreline. It was bloated out a little bit there, but we are seeing kills fall more in the favor of Direwolves. Good call out there, a ping from Zerkil. Lighting up those enemies on Divine Mind. Jordan calling them out as well. Still has a little bit less than half of his overshield ringing through. It does sort of burn out more and more as time goes on. Not a lot of use of it comes out apart from those cross-map shots which did keep him alive as much as possible. But a lot of collapsing coming out from Direwolves right now. And this is how they should have started off their early game.
I mean, the last time, like I said, on this map, on land, in Slayer, the reason that Direwolves lost is they were trying to rotate and burn an overshield. That's what we've just seen Divine Minds do. They time it perfectly, they burn it out. Jordan no longer has that. The double up push onto him is going to be the kill they need to extend that gap by 2, and all of a sudden they take control back.
There was no way Jordan was getting out of that alive. Let's just say that for a fact. Balds gets picked up near top ramp as well. Swayz, once again, whipping around the map with that grapple hook. We've seen him have it a couple times. Does have the plasma rifle with the pulse carbine in tow as well. Does get taken down. 2 members of Divine Mind go down for 1 member of Direwolves. They're both up now, and a drop comes in from Zerkil, looking to take a pick on Plasma, but Grenade does take him out. Grenades on both sides. So much damage to try and compensate for.
Then straight at the bottom of that platform there at Zerkil's feet, and there's nothing he can do to avoid the damage. Looking for the shots on Swayz and Divine Mind. They're happy to slow this one down, knowing full well that the clock will force Direwolves to make the play. And more often than not in that situation, the play you make is not the one you need.
That being said, look at what Direwolves is doing right now. It's not necessarily a play that I've agreed with, but they're looking just to opt for, okay, we'll play a little bit slower, we'll play a little bit more patiently. And the damage that they're actually ringing out cross-map is a lot to compete with right now for the members of Divine Mind, especially when you have 3 members of Direwolves all focusing in on you at the same time.
I mean, the thing is, though, they do great chip damage, but there's no one there to capitalize and finish off. Another trade coming through, which will always work for the team ahead on Swayz right now. Long-range shots are rated onto Jordan. It's enough to just deter, but look, 2 more back, and all of a sudden, going into the final stretch, we're tied up, and Direwolves take the lead.
Zerkil making the push of that overshield then. He didn't care how much was burned in that particular moment. He just wanted to secure the kill. Has the grapple hook in tow as well. Calls out Plasma, sees 2 members potentially there, but has to face Raided now. Does get taken down. 2 members of Direwolves get thrown around as well. 44 to 44. We're all tied up as now Direwolves the one taking the lead as Jordan in the back line. We're seeing so many kills come out back and forth. Only 1 kill the difference for Direwolves.
Direwolves happy to trade it out continuously because if that happens, they're the one that takes the map. It's, well, a single kill game at the moment. 3 need of Direwolves, 4 for Divine Minds. You can see grouping up. This is a full 4-man push. This is Death Ball Halo at its finest. And you can see a couple of Keybots utility spawning up soon. That skewer not far off. And I mean, a gun like that can be the difference maker.
Zerkil right now pushed out a little bit far from the rest of his teammates on Vine's side, probably just trying to scout for as much information as possible. The game has slowed down so much. Vampt trying to take on a cross-map battle right now. Both players back down. Raided and Vampt, both players back down. We see 3 members Sorry, 2 members of Divine Mind position, just looking at that Ivy side hall. So slow, the game has become Panda.
But this is where Divine Mind thrive. They look for the coin to drop. As soon as that drops, they make the play. Win or lose, they're going to commit to it fully. So this could be all they need. This is 4-on-4.
Teams on the opposite side. I mean, we can see the rotation coming out right now. All 4 members of Direwolves sticking together like they're all in a clown car about to emerge, potentially on the members of Divine Mind. But Divine Mind it just feels like they have them on the back foot a little bit. Potentially playing for these power-ups right now. Ball's running for the OS. Jordan picks up a kill on Pipz. 2 more kills left for Direwolves. It looks like that OS would have been secured by Balls. Yes, it was. As he pulls in, 1 more kill left to go. Balls taking the BR fight. Gonna need his teammate to follow up on it as 2 members taken down. This looks like it should be it.
No!
Oh, wait, what happened? That's it. Divine Mind secure the kill as that Repulse almost saved their chances. Man!
It looked like they lost the opportunity, but luckily, you know, in the back lines, all the intention was there. They just sneak in, find the 1 kill they need. We can hear the boys on stage getting a bit vocal there. But, I mean, I take it back again, that Armageddon land. Direwolves lost because they were trying to burn the overshield, trying to burn time, rotate around and get away from Divine Mind. They misplayed that, gave Swayz the opening, and of course Divine Mind won. This time, they make the right play. They burn the time, bait Divine Minds into an overextension, and punish hard.
That being said though, it felt like Divine Mind read exactly what Direwolves were about to do because they were still playing more balcony side, looking for the members of Direwolves to sort of make a push for that OS. At the end of the day, Direwolves being 1-up, it's exactly like you kept saying over and over again, Panda. They could trade out as much as they wanted to. They were 1 ahead. If they get trades, that's exactly what they want. They're going to come out on top in the end.
I mean, that's the thing with Catalyst. It's this weird mixture of, you know, very, very long-range angles, being able to contest cross-map, but also a lot of rotational plays, trying to come in from the flank and outplay your opponent, outmaneuver them. And, I mean, both teams showcased that incredibly well.
Yep. Absolutely, can't help but agree. Especially those rotational plays. You know, it takes you know, your top tier talent in these regions to sort of just focus on making those rotations as much as possible. I feel like as Catalyst in particular, it becomes such a burn game. You're looking for panic plays because the time is just ticking out more and more. And I feel like that's exactly what Direwolves, the team in particular, really excels at doing.
Well, I mean, it's the difference between making a panic play, which is you desperately force it and try and make something happen, and forcing the issue. You say, look, if it's going to go down this way, we're going to make sure it goes down the way we want. And I mean, look, the damage, it was still incredibly high for Divine Mind, unfortunately. I mean, look, 42 kills so far, a 7.67 KD. Vampt is just insane. I mean, yes, that is the whole series, but look, he's stacking up numbers against Divine Mind.
I feel like consistently when we look at Direwolves, it's Vampt as sort of like the main slayer that always sits in this position. It doesn't matter how down and out his team is. He's always there to sort of give them a little bit more gas, providing those kills where necessary. Just very, very strong stuff. Huge commitment from Vampt. I love seeing the magic that he does throughout all of these games. And I suppose as we go deeper into the series, it's just going to get better and better. He's just warming up those fingers, folks.
I mean, it's the thing. We saw map 1, Jordan had an absolute stunner despite the loss. Second map, Vampt goes massive. It's the thing, it's no one player that shows up on the day that is the difference maker. They can rely on individual members to show up. I mean, we've even had a couple of series where Bald Unit has been the one to slay out and lead the kill board.
You gotta love it, especially when Balds is the one being the difference maker in those games. It just harkens back to an era of old. Such a strong, dedicated player in his own right. We are now going live with, of course, Recharge, Oddball, off the break. Very typical of these teams, just fighting over camo as much as possible. And yes, it is the ANZ region, folks. So we are going to see a Slayer probably play out for a very long time in this particular opening.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like North America and it's like, oh yeah, the Slayer was won because the clock burned out. It was like 47 to 32. You're not getting that in ANZ. No, 100% no. Someone's reaching 50, but already Swayz has the active camo. And I mean, you got to remember, Blue, you got to be concerned. This is Recharge. And the shock rifle is in play.
Yes.
And in the hands of someone like Swayz, those long-range threats are amplified.
Sometimes I wake up in cold sweats at night thinking about what Swayz has done to people with that shock rifle, looking to make a showcase of it right now.
Oh!
He does get pinched Good stuff coming out from Direwolves as Balls was receiving just such pressure right now. Does manage to stay out with his life, and a rotation comes out from his team. But once again, the collapse coming out from the members of Direwolves, and they do not come out on top as Pipz takes out 2 himself. Has the shock rifle in his hands now, and Pipz, again, very dangerous man when it comes to that shock.
You got to be concerned a little bit though. Swayz, he thrives on that just unquestioning confidence in his own ability. He had the lineup onto Zerkil, couldn't make it work. This shock rifle so far is not working for Divine Mind.
Maybe it just needs the battery recharge.
There's a reason you're meant to clean your weapons.
Pull them apart, clean them as much as possible. The shots ring out for Pipz with that shock rifle. Can't quite connect one. It does get collapsed on by Jordan, but we do see...
Oh, wait, it's Oddball. That's right, yeah.
the members of Divine Mind sort of just taking a position with the Oddball in that sort of back blue bend, back of Hydro right there, playing the ball immediately as they feel the pressure turned on towards them. Not a lot can be said right now for the round. There's only 22 seconds of Oddball time has been achieved.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's the dangerous trench that we see ANZ teams fall into. It's an objective game mode, but you get stuck on the Swayz. It's all about the kills. You're just hungry for it. We do see the full wipe of the Direwolves there, which allows Divine Mind to get a little bit more secure in their positioning. Looks like Orange Pipes is the name of the game here for this setup. I mean, it's a pretty powerful one, especially when you've got Slayers that can hold and contest the push-in.
It's all about creating that space, right? Getting enough kills in order to make sure that your team can make a rotation and make a full hold as much as possible to get as much ball time as possible. They have 40 seconds on the board right now for Divine Mind, which means they can take a little break from holding that Oddball. The Swayz comes up against Balls, takes him down with a commando. You love to see it. Bit of an underused gun in my opinion. Swayz sort of doubling back as the grenades come out. Plasma taking out Jordan in that instance as well. Rated picking up the ball once again, and the time continues to tick up for Divine Mind.
That Jack Russell Terrier of the Divine Mind, Rusty. Hey, look, he's not the biggest of blokes, but he's certainly going to let you know that he's playing the game. Halfway through the first round, Divine Mind uncontested on the Oddball so far. 60 points done and dusted. And look, they slow it down. They're not going to get caught up in the rat race of just slaying it.
It's one of those things with a team like Divine Mind where they have control of a map like this. It becomes very, very difficult, no matter what team you are, to sort of regain that pressure, regain that momentum. Make sure to put it back on them as well. 3 members of Divine Mind do go down right now, so it looks like Direwolves might have a little bit of space to play with here, as once again, as you said, Panda, looks like Gold Pipes is the name of the game as they're looking to make that rotation.
I mean, that's what Pipz brings to this roster. You got Swayz, you got Plasma, you got Rated, incredibly capable, very aggressive players. Pipz is that voice of reason saying, come on guys, slow it down. We don't want to get caught up in our own game. The reset just comes through. It looked like, okay, there we go. I was going to say, it looked like maybe it just caught on the lip there.
That would have been absolutely shocking if that was the case, right? Just on the lip, the ball hanging on for its dear life. Swayz in hand shock rifle right now. Lands a couple of shots, but can't quite secure it. On board with Vampt right now. Shots ringing out from across the map, taking on Pipz in a 1v1 on that top elevator. And it looks like Pipz was the one who had to back down as Vampt manages to find Plasma all on his own. Shock rifle now in the hands of Direwolves, and they look like might be able to make a little space if they play their cards right.
I mean, the crazy thing is Zerkil is 2-0 against Swayz with shock rifle in hand, which is something that I never thought I'd say. But right now, Vampt has his opportunity to put it to work. They're down 50 points though, so they need to focus less on killing and slaying out and more about setting themselves up for an extended hold.
Objective is the name of the game for Direwolves right now, as they just seem to be struggling to find that footing as we... Divine Mind, it's Rated with Plasma making a rotation. C-Long right now sort of jumping up back and forth to Sneaky. Is that in the back pocket? Vampt has the shock rifle, misses the second shot with it. 3 members of Divine Mind do go down. Swayz sort of playing for his life right now, but it looks like Direwolves is going to be able to just rotate this ball back. This is what we like to see. Finally some time in the hands of Direwolves.
Still plenty of time on the clock as well. I mean, a lot could be achieved with a minute 39 there, so they have some comfort, some room to move. But right now, Swayz, he's looking to get himself back into this matchup. He's been a bit quiet so here on Recharge, and again, will be shut down. Jordan also having that shock rifle. Plasma in support though. They force him out a long haul. They're going to keep rotating this one around.
Rotation coming out. Plasma positioning himself. Top gold. A Swayz, C-plat as well. Does drop down. The game is very much at a standstill as we see this hold come from Divine Mind, of course. The yells, the shouts, the confidence of both boys as well. And there we go, Pipz. That's what we like to see. The perfect reversal uses the last bullet, or should I say battery, from that shock rifle, swaps it out for Commando.
I don't know. I'm not a Halo weaponry engineer. I'm not that qualified to just sit here and talk smack about players. But right now, you can see their final stretch once again. Shock rifle in hand, but it may not really matter here. There's 5 points needed to close out round one of Oddball, but he hits a shot anyway.
The perfect headshot killing spree just to end out the round there. Pipz really rumming it in. Good stuff from him, but on the other hand, Direwolves seem to be struggling a little bit with this particular objective game type.
I mean, Slayer is where they found success. Objective, they've lost twice, so it's that question that comes in their hand. 1 for 1 to start this second round off, and a double for Plasma as he falls. Raided there to clean things up, reduces it to just Zerkil.
4 members from Direwolves do go down, and Swayz has camo in hand right now. Going to be able to play very sneaky.
Oh, you know where he's going. You know exactly where he's going.
Looks like he is rotating for that shock rifle. He's got all the time and all the space in the world, ladies and gentlemen. He grabs that ball and hands it off to, yes, his buddy Raided. 72 seconds of objective time right now, and Swayz just narrowly missed the headshot, but he grabs that one, felled by Jordan at the very end there. God, you love to see it.
He missed the first one, said, okay, look, well, let's fix this. Come on, guys, come on. I need to be hitting my shots. Just stand right there, makes it work, and Divine Mind first on the board again with the Oddball in hand. Right now, they got all the goodies. They got the active camo, they got the shock rifle and the grappling hook sets. Key bits of utility off the board. Swayz now back in. Pipz helps them take down half of this Direwolves team. They're rotating in, looking for the control. Pipz there, covering the flank. They just lock everything down.
Yeah, lock everything down, they do. They've grabbed the ball. Pipz trying to make a rotation with it. Playing for his life a little bit here as he's going to get pincered, but he's still... No, he does not. Balls takes him out with that little jump shot there. Very good stuff from Balls. The call must have come out as well. 3 members of Direwolves do go down. There was 3 members for Divine Mind also briefly down as well. The Slayer counter-slay game coming out very strong. But that time, once again, is just not quite connecting for the members of Direwolves.
Plasma, he's looking a little bit frustrated there. He missed 2 shots with the shock rifle. Finished off with the BR. So, I mean, that's always a bit frustrating in those situations. It's such a key gun. Misses another one. We might even just see the handoff here.
Yeah, maybe we might. Let's just GA the shock rifle for the time being now, shall we? If we're going to see so many people sort of make misses with it as much as possible. But hey, it's the land pressure. That's where it comes to full fruition. 2 members of Divine Mind right now go down. Zerkil picking up himself a double as he's looking over this camera right now. But Swayz is the one who comes out on top, does get felled himself. Vampt, the members of Direwolves looking to make a play as we do have Bald with the ball right now.
Yeah, Bald the only player in the server not to hit double digits, but he's got an excuse. It's okay.
Fine. He's holding the
Oddball. That's his job in this matchup. Unfortunately, he's not holding it for long. A little bit of frustration. The hand flick there. He's not stoked.
He's not stoked at all. You know, that being said, Direwolves still have a lot of space to work with, not a lot of score differential here, but this is a slaying game that we're paying particular attention to. This is the ANZ region once again, folks, so players choose to opt for just a little bit of milk time here and there, then mainly go for the slays. Fortunately, Direwolves felling in that particular instance. 4 members of the team do go down, and we do have a setup here at top elevator.
Shock rifle as well. Extended range there. Spots the ankles, Jordan. He's not going to commit to the shot. Spots Jordan there behind the glass, unfortunately.
There's no way he peeks, right?
Jordan's just sitting there taunting, saying, come on, you know you want to.
You can't see me. Sway is still eagle-eyed on him, as Plasma looking to make the push from top gold as well. Very precarious situation that the members of Direwolves put themselves in right now. Vampt picks himself up kill. Jordan does as well. Sway's the last one alive on the team, looking to try and connect, but he does get pincered. 3 members of Divine Mind go down. This is that counterplay that Direwolves needs to start making as they favor a hold in top elevator.
I mean, growing frustration. This shock rifle, which, I mean, at one point in history was one of the most lethal weapons in the Divine Mind arsenal, has failed to connect more often than not. Right now, Pipz, he's going to find the kill there to open things up, looking for more Zerkil. He's bitten off more than he can choose. An attempt was made, but it doesn't matter.
Grenade rings out from, honestly, Lord knows where, but Plasma picking up himself a kill, so I'm sure he's happy with that, especially providing his backup to teammates. Direwolves, 3 members down. Once again, a narrative that we seem to be all too familiar with, especially on Oddball Recharge, this particular map and game type, as Raided chooses to go sneaky here. Yes, we do see Swayz trying to push with ball in bottom tunnel, but unfortunately, he gets picked himself. 2 members of Divine Mind down. Direwolves once again spawning in A Whirlpool area, and Pipz is the one on his own right now, does get taken out. So we do see a bit of a flank here, I guess, for the members of Direwolves.
Direwolves making unit shut down by the Swayz man himself. And look, it is what it is. He's not having the greatest of game, but at least he's contributing.
Swayz right now, trying to take a player out on camo box, does secure the kill. I love the disruptor play coming out now. Just get some of that burn damage if you can. And he does not get chased. He gets to play for his shield here, but two members of Direwolves sitting in bottom control decide to shut him out. And if he decides to rotate for stacks, which he is, he's going to come in favor of two members. Gets the back smack, the quick slide. Vampt goes down. Three members of Direwolves up. Plasma rated to secure another kill, but he does get taken out as well. Three members of Direwolves down.
Plasma, wingman, Mill coming through. He's looking good as a team player. Perfect on the ball unit as well. Not just the assist master himself. Unfortunately, Shield's gone, has to back himself out. He's still wanting to contest this, which is rather risky. And we've seen a couple of these Divine Mind members get caught out in the middle of nowhere, but look at it, 15 points, less than 15 points now remaining in this, could be final round for Divine Mind.
I loved the pass off there that Divine Mind did, you know, instantly grabbing that ball, trying to rotate as much as possible, and Plasma also got out, almost got out with his life there, but he did get chased a little too far, does get himself picked off, and unfortunately that gives the members of Direwolves a bit of a spot to hold themselves. They're going to sort of sit top elevator here. L2, as ball sort of rotates down towards the stairs, getting damage.
Swayz, he's got the shock rifle in hand. He's just found Jordan. What more can he find to enable the team? They're in the final stretch. 6 points remaining now. They're just going to keep on ticking it away. Ball has to run, but there's nothing doing. Map 3 goes the way of Divine Mind, up to 1 in the series. We're going further than the 0-3.
Further than the 0-3 indeed, but I would say for the members of Divine Mind, that is a very decisive win, as you pointed out before, Panda, you know. And I did too, I would say, that so Direwolves perform very well on these Slayers. They really enjoy being in that sort of chaotic environment, especially on Catalyst, which is surprising to me, Catalyst being Catalyst. But Divine Mind, when it comes to the objectives, they have the slay pressure down. And they just have the quick wits with sort of juggling the power weapons on the map and getting to the objective and making the necessary rotations to create enough space for them. It's a lethal combo. It's the trifecta.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the interesting way in which Divine Mind approach objective game modes. Honestly, we should be calling Swayz the Vag Man. Doesn't matter what damn map it is. If it's Oddball, he's in. Objective, handoff. He gives it straight to Rated. Rated, unfortunately, that's his role in Oddball. It's here, hold this. Swayz has other things to be doing, namely slaying. But repeatedly, he'll do it on streets in Rocket Oddball handoff, and he's going to town. He does the same thing here.
You know, at the end of the day, if you're on a team with someone like Swayz and he's popping off as much as he is, and he says, "Hey Panda, can you take the ball for me?" Are you going to object to that?
I'm questioning what I'm doing on the team with Swayz. Honestly, there is a significant skill disparity, not in the game so far, but when it comes to me and him. Look, we may be countrymen, but I'm not nearly on the same level he is.
So many good players coming out from Swayz, particularly in this map. You know, it's very dangerous for him to be in a position like he is. But, you know, adversely, members of Direwolves themselves also had some good plays. It just came from that macro game that they couldn't quite seem to get down the rotations, the ball time, you know, sort of balancing getting slays with getting as little milk time as possible to sort of stack up to those big amounts.
I mean, it's one of those things, you know, you're trying to balance so many plates, trying to keep them going. Divine Mind managing to balance slays, you know, positional advantage, making the macro work for themselves. Direwolves are like, cool, we got the slaying down. Oh, wait, it's objective. Okay, we've got the objective down. Oh, wait, we need to get some kills so we can hold this objective. So they just, it's not the synergy that they're looking for. Rated
doing everything he can at the moment to feed his overall KDAs. He is on 14, a solid 14, ladies and gentlemen, 60 kills to his name in this entire series so far, looking very, very strong. If you're a member of Direwolves, if you're the whole team right now, you know, particularly the coach, how are you talking to your boys? How are you rallying them and tell them we can come back from this? You know, we have a map to our name, we just need to take it further.
Well, I mean, it's the thing. It's you look at Halo as its whole. As soon as things get quiet, that's when things are going wrong. Look, they may not be shouting across the stage, but it's the communication. You need to keep feeding that info through. Player rotating through here, objective coming up in just a moment. As long as you can keep that communication, the information flowing, you can make plays off of that. They need to keep their heads up. They are not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. They need to double down, lock it in here going into our 4th map, which, I mean, look, this could get rather spicy.
We love a good live fire, particularly, yes, sitting in that top mid hallway is the ever so loved S7 sniper rifle, and hopefully with players like Swayz on the map, with players like Pipz, particularly those two from Divine Mind, and you have Vampt on the other team on Direwolves as well, and we have seen what these absolute monsters can do when they get that long barrel in hand.
And there we go, right on into it already. Nade spam coming through, just testing the waters, figuring things out. Direwolves will claim first blood, but again, Swayz in through mid, got the objective, he's out again.
The game had been open for like a millisecond and he already has the sniper in hand. That thing practically calls to him and he just heeds the call.
But he does it every single time. No matter what map it is, if there's a power weapon available to him, in, out, safe, fragging.
Here we are looking for a kill on Zerkil. Doesn't quite connect that shot there, but he has the 4-shot.
Oh!
And he takes him out! Beautiful shots from Swayz. You know, if that's the moneymaker that you need, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be the one providing it.
I mean, look, he really is a ball unit right now. His hair's gone. Right, though, they're pushing on, looking to get control of the hill. Divine Mind, some significant investment already. Looking to get this converted into a point, Swayz. He's not done by any stretch. Honestly, I reckon he's a little bit frustrated. He's had some quiet maps. He said, come on, guys. I'm the FFA king.
Give me the sniper. I want to put on a show with it. And even when he doesn't have the sniper in hand, he's going to have the heat wave as well, meaning he gets a lot of damage. But Vamp's throwing the holy hand grenade right now. Taking him out 2 for 2 on both sides, Divine Mind and Direwolves. But Direwolves do go down again with another member as Vampt gets taken out. And a little bit of hill time falling in the favor of Divine Mind right now.
But again, it's a significant priority over the objective for Divine Mind. They keep it ticking forward. They're just unfortunately denied as Direwolves are in pressuring at the moment. They've got a little bit extra to commit to it. Raided on for the double. Back of the objective. He's trying to be a little bit sneaky, trying to get the ninja play, but it doesn't come through. Spotted by Vampt and shut down. Direwolves getting some significant time invested.
Direwolves getting some significant time and some significant kills as well, as they're making such good holds, particularly around that sandbag side. Looking concrete as well, as members from Divine Mind just keep pouring in one after another, just falling one after another as well. Look at the time that's ticking up for the members of Direwolves. That being said, Divine Mind don't have that long before they take first hill.
This is one of the most costly mistakes that ANZ teams make, where they just flurry and one by one, they lose out on the slays, and they just have the worst, most horrendous spawns possible. And there we go. If Divine Minds can hold on to this, they do. They look to convert it into the first point. Direwolves need to avoid getting scrappy and playing their lives one by one.
Plasma, what are you doing with that commando, buddy? Just landing those shots one after another, getting significant damage onto Balls. Balls manages to fall away. One shot. Actually, he's still sitting top ridge, as we see 3 members of Direwolves, 1 position on tower 3. Right now, or top tower, you see Balls taking the hill time. Raided gets taken down in sneaky. So they are 1 down at the moment, meaning that Divine Mind can make a push for that hill. More importantly, a push for those kills in order to secure them as much space and time as possible.
Yeah, look at, honestly, they're trying to control mid as well, get that sniper in the hands of Swayz so he can go to work. But it is Raided that's really showing up in the server for Divine Mind here at the moment. Has the heat wave, he's already bagged 2, looking for 3. He gets the killing spree as well. He is playing this tooth and nail, body on the line for the objective.
Very good stuff. You love to see how just strong the team shots are, particularly from the members of Divine Mind at the moment. They always just seem to have 2 barrels looking down at any player from Direwolves. But that being said, Divine Mind do go 4 down. Bald unit with the S7 at the moment, looking to get those spawners in as much as possible. It does take a bit of a dip down to back mud. Looking over OS right now. Members from Divine Mind going to start peeking mid. Hopefully Bald can make a show for it.
He's walked around this tower twice now, but he's not found it out. Where was I going? Oh, that's right. Yeah, background again. But unfortunately, no, he hasn't found much of anything with this S7. The OV is coming up in just a moment as well. Raided body shot, but no! Caught mantling, can't connect with the BR. Pushed off the angle. Yeah, look, not quite as effective as it could have been.
He gets the damage down, which gives his team enough time, to get as much hill time as they possibly can irk out. Unfortunately, Bald Man down 1 shot right now, back mud. Sniper still in hand, 4 shots to play with. Can he connect any of them in these crucial moments? Once again, he's doing this do-si-do around tower, and he gets rewarded for it with a back smack. Shots into, I believe, I didn't quite catch who grabbed OS just there. I believe it was Pipz or Swayz. Now running up to tower, is finally being challenged, and he's fallen back in this mud position.
He's still got 3 shots remaining with the sniper. You look at it, the pistol generating the green glow, all charged up, ready to go for Jordan. They want to burn this overshield if they can, but Pipz shuts them down. There should be 2 shots left in that sniper if Swayz can get hands on. They know Zerkil's there, shot him down as well. They're on the hill, but I mean, to be shut down just before the convert, that's heartbreaking for the Direwolves.
The Direwolves were making good sort of space there, enabling them to sort of touch hill, you know, every now and then just to get little bits of time, and they were so close to managing to secure that second one right there. But it looks like the members of Divine Mind, particularly with this slaying power, and if Direwolves are just going to keep pushing down top mid like this, might be able to take control of it.
AR and BR in the hands of Swayz. Look, he's deadly with pretty much anything in this server.
Doesn't matter.
Aside from those certain agreements that are going on.
We won't talk about them.
Yeah, look, we ignore those because, look, Swayz doesn't care. He can do whatever he needs, so he's like the MacGyver of Halo slaying.
Hill ticks up for the members of Divine Mind. Good stuff from them once again as we are now up 2-0 for the Hills. And the spawn comes out from Direwolves. They spawn in A immediately on that flag. But it doesn't matter. Swayz is going to make his rotation in Rat Tunnel. Takes out Balls, and he's got Pipz there to help him. Immediately in the hill, 3 members of Divine Mind, and this time is going to start ticking up quickly.
They are already halfway to victory here, given there's only less than 3 minutes left to play. Like we are, we should see this one go to the clock. Hopefully, maybe Direwolves could mount some sort of comeback, but just look at the way that Divine Mind are playing around the map. Objective, Slay, back onto your objective, rotating around. It was a missed opportunity there for the Direwolves.
OS now up on the field as Rated and Plasma both looking to make a rotation for it, but they're going to meet 3 members of Divine Mind. A nice kill coming up from there. AR in hand. Plasma just nanoseconds away from being able to pop that in his chest and reap the rewards of it, but a nice collapse comes out from the members of Direwolves. They are 4 up, reward themselves with an overshield and the potential for a good chunk of hill time.
Zerkil, that flank that he pulled off from Sandbags was huge. They spot Rated out as well. Jordan there to capitalise from the Rat Tunnel, gets the beat down from behind. They're on the objective. They're looking to rack up times. He convert into a point here. Overshield on the chest of Zerkil. He's found 2. Backs off the angle. It's being chipped away at here by the nades and the spray. It's all but gone.
1 after 1 grenade takes off so much of that OS. Zerkil secures himself a kill right now, but he meets 2 members of Divine Mind. Gets taken out near immediately. Vampt with the sniper in hand. Gets taken out himself. So much shots, so many chaos. And, you know, amongst all of that, amongst all the rotations, amongst all the damage being exchanged, did Direwolves really manage to get themselves enough hill time as what is necessary?
How did we end up with 2 players alive in the server there for a brief moment? It was Zerkil and Plasma trying to make whatever they could happen. Pipz pushing through mid, denied by Balls as there is a lot of pressure mounting on the objective. Direwolves forced off it, Divine Mind on it. They could convert this into a 3rd.
Divine Mind once again taking control of that hill. As Swayz flies in with that sniper, gets taken down himself by Zerkil. Pipz making a rotation in the big door here as we're going to see another collapse from Divine Mind onto the hill. 3 more players stack onto it. That time is ticking up and up. It's an upwards trend for Divine Mind. And if they win this battle right now,
oh my God,
Pipz decides to get away with his life in such a manner. This is exactly why we call him.
How did they skirt away with the point as well? Pipz gets his life, he gets the hill, they're on to the next one. They're looking to close this one out on captures rather than time.
They want it done. Divine Mind here today want to send a decisive message as to how they're going to be playing for the rest of the finals here in the ANZ region as Rated. Just sitting on top perch on OS, sort of playing the hill for himself, just using that extra shield that he has for as much time on the hill as possible. Very decisive plays coming out from hill as well as Plasma makes the flank around to big door. With Pipz, they're going to spot Zerkil, catch him out on scoreboard potentially as Swayz is collapsing in on him as well. Zerkil does stick Pipz. Jordan kills Swayz and there's a massive chunk of time being ticked up for Direwolves right now.
Yeah, but is it enough? I mean, they're only just sort of equalising with Divine Mind as it is. If Divine Mind can get some significant time here, they can close it out. Pipz flanking in through the window, catches out 1. Can he find 2? Yes, he can. The body shots and the smack onto the body too. Pipz, the BM, can he find Balls? No, look, he's shut down for his audacity, but all this time, Rated is on the objective.
He's shut down, but only for a brief moment. You and I both know he'll be back. 3 members of Divine Mind right now sent back to the respawn screen as Plasma is just taking a nice little perch position up in the top of the tower. Picks up that AR as well. The Zerkil is just sort of leaning around sneaky, peeking as much with the sniper as much as possible, seeing if he can connect a shot, trying to dislodge that member of Divine Mind, making sure that they can't get enough sort of annoying mosquito damage as possible. Zerkil does decide to fall back to scoreboard right now. Find the prize for this man. Doesn't connect that shot as 2 members of his team goes down. He's going to take on Rated. Takes him down as well. Looking to secure a sniper shot onto Pipz, but there's too much pressure for him to face that hillside.
They're on the objective. Divine Mind, they're just taking time up the shots. You got to connect their Zerkil. You can't be giving them the time. He does. One shot there, but it's the nade, in fact, to do the job. Direwolves flood on. They convert the hill. It's ticking up in favor of them. One player left for Divine Mind. The nade spam coming in towards that turbine position. But look how close Divine Mind are. Direwolves need to convert this because the last thing they want is to lose positioning and give another point to Divine Mind. And Vampt just bats Pipz off the objective, takes the point, and we go further.
Vampt with the selfless play. Even if I die, I want to use this repulsor to get you off the hill. We need a point secured. We are not going to go out like this. That being said, we are onto probably what is the most annoying point here on Livefire, King of the Hill. This top mid position is so precarious. You're going to see so many nades just bouncing back and forth. You've got to make sure you play for your life as much as you can, and Divine Mind seems to be the ones doing it perfectly right now.
I mean, you say annoying, most people would say god-awful because it's so exposed. The nade spam, all that utility that you can just dump down range. But look, Divine Mind, significant investment onto the objective. They're halfway through. They have not dropped control of this top mid hill. Finally, they step off it, but it's only for a second. They're just going to hold it. Pipz is not moving. Finally forced up the objective, but I mean, is the damage done?
Right now, Direwolves have so much hill time to make up for, especially, as we say, in such an annoying position to be in that top mid. Pipz picks himself up a double kill. Going to be facing another player right now with the triple.
Yes!
An unofficial overkill from Pipz. Massive plays. He takes down all 4 members himself. There's so little time for Direwolves to be able to make a play here.
That's all she wrote, Pipz!
Sets
the team up for victory. Divine Mind take it a 3-1. Direwolves unfortunately not able to go the distance against the best team ANZ has to produce. But Bluey, I mean, look, there were moments you believed Direwolves might have been able to show it, but again, you're coming into this Divine Mind first seed, Chief second, Mindfreak third, and Direwolves fourth. That shakes up. They went one map further than Mindfreak was able to.
There were so many moments of Direwolves sort of being able to wrangle themselves back, but they were just so brief. You know, they never lasted for very long. It was just like a very quickly burning flame, whereas Divine Mind, time and time again, were just showing so much consistency. Slaying power, macro game, team shots, everything under the sun when it comes to fundamental Halo, they were executing on.
I mean, you look at the time on the objective, Pipz, 1:48. He then had rated at 1:31. I mean, that's just 2 of the members here. Look, Swayz, the fact that he was on the objective was probably because there was a kill to be had more than anything. But, I mean, look, you saw some of those plays that were made. Divine Mind showing why they are a fan favourite to take this event, and that spot going to Orlando. A 4-1 to close out the series, a 3-1 overall. I mean, it's classic Divine Mind.
Classic Divine Mind indeed, especially, you know, when we're talking about our predictions and how this team has been playing lately. You know, they've been talking about just in the opens, in the Pro Series, and then in scrims. We've had so much news from how these teams have been performing in scrims as well. Just utter dominance. Now they're coming to land stage. They certainly have the land buff. I mean, look at the way that they were playing.
Yeah, look, it was just truly impressive stuff. I mean, start to finish, it was a great series of Halo. I had so much fun watching the boys rocking through it, and our MVP, of course, for that third map. Look, understandably, the effort that he put in, the utility that he was able to bring out. I mean, the shots he was able to connect. Swayz had an absolute stunner. What a headshot!
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know, even if we just get one of those a series, that's what we want, right? Those are the showmaker plays. Chuck that in the montage, put it to YouTube to some, I don't know, early 2010s sort of angsty metalcore, and you got it right there.
You speaking from experience there, Bluey?
No, not at all, dude.
Oh, look, it was great. They just from start to finish, they controlled the hills, they controlled the map. Even the 1 point that we saw picked up by the Direwolves was because maybe they just played their hand, the triple, nearly the overkill there as well. I mean, there were some moments where you thought, like, maybe Swayz didn't even need teammates. He was just walking through them.
I loved how long, you know, that scenario where Ballz was just able to play his life, though. That constant rotation around the tower side, absolutely disgusting. But how do you compete making plays like that when you got Pipz doing what he did at the very ending of the game? What a way to close it out.
Well, I mean, it is. It's Pipz. He looks like he should be this cuddly giant. But no, that
He's
guy,
a monster.
when he gets the death stare on, like, I mean, he can be kind of scary, if I'm being honest. But you look at the scores across the board, the closest it got was that Catalyst lap. It looks close on Bazaar CTF, but it was anything from the truth.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Like Bazaar CTF, the first game that we saw into, there were, again, Direwolves came out very strong on the break. They had control here and there, but Divine Mind just put the key in the ignition and went for it full force. And then it was just absolute show of dominance from the point on, and there was no real area or way that Direwolves could recover. It was those faint glimmer of hopes, but you can only get those so many times before the flame burns out.
Yeah, look, a flash in the pan, unfortunately, probably be the best way to describe it. I mean, look, they're not done. Obviously, there's still more pool play to go.
Yes.
Direwolves still have that championship bracket to look forward to.